Hey, good evening. So today I'm going to be doing the Honor of Kings Invitational Season 1. Going to take a look at the semi-finals. This is going to be Stalwart Esports against A7. Now, for those of you that have watched this series, I think this is a pretty spicy one. And this is going to be recording of my showreel as well. So hopefully this is all good in terms of like my game knowledge, the pacing and all that. And then yeah, in the near future, maybe Riyadh Bound. I don't know. That's the hope here. Right, so I'm just gonna kick it off and we will jump straight into it. Okay, so welcome to the Season 1 Invitationals. This is for the Honor of Kings. So we're gonna have Stalwart Esports going up against A7. And this is going to be a best of 3 match. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is your favorite type of tofu. This is kin tofu. So let's take a look at what's going to happen here for A7 going up against Stalwart Esports. Now, we already have the first few bans. So this is going to be the first ban. Let's take a look at Stalwart Esports first. It is going to be the Jing. So Mirror Blade as well as Frost going to be banned out. Very good control and a lot of iframes for these two heroes. So that is what Stalwart Esports doesn't want to deal with. They will pick up the Zhang Fei. So Zhang Fei itself, a very tanky individual with his ultimate as well. It will provide a lot of protection, especially towards the backlines as well. But more importantly, it's also supposed to act as a very big shield going up against the likes of A7. Now, this is going to be complemented by the Lupa number 7. Lupa number 7, as we know, damage over time is pretty insane, has the potential for a huge amount of burst as well. And of course, we have Zenon going on the Musashi. Musashi here, with one of his skills, he's able to actually mitigate any of the range attacks coming in from A7. So for A7 itself, so far, the bans have been onto Mai and Stormy as well. So Stormy, a very good synergistic hero with a lot of compositions, allows you to teleport back to base, as well as to summon them with her ultimate, which gets everyone on board and goes straight into the fight as well. Now, they're going to ban out the Charlotte as well as for their third ban. And Charlotte has a lot of iframes and has very easy access into the backline. So this is something they don't want to deal with, especially when you have someone as immobile as Huang Zhong, right? Huang Zhong, his ultimate will actually lock him in the spot as he lays down his barrages. So it's a very paramount that they have this protection on the form of A7. Now they're going to complement Huang Zhong together with Dolia, and Dolia itself with her ultimate will be able to reset the ultimates on her counterparts on the side of A7, and it's going to be extremely dangerous. Now, Byron, of course, going to be played by Mr. For those of you that play the China and Chinese version as well, Huang Tie, sorry, he's a very tanky individual. So he's going to be in the front lines, chasing down the backline of Stalwart Esports, and hopefully that will give the opening and the freedom for Suits to really just go in crazy with all of his normal attacks, and we will see how this composition works out for them so far. Right, so as we take a look at the draft itself, right, we're gonna see the final ban actually going to be on the Lianpo, and Lianpo is actually one of the dangerous people that we have to watch out for. Simply because same thing, he offers that instant backline access with his ultimate as well. So this is something that we have to watch out for. Now this something that A7 in terms of their draft, like I said, it's very punishing if they have free access into the backline. So this is something they don't want to deal with. Now Aomin or Aomine going to be taking up the Ata. So Ata, likewise, a very beefy lineup. So if you take a look at what A7 is providing in their draft, this is a very shield and spear kind of style of play, right? So Master as well as Aomin, they will be on the front lines trying to break down the shield provider on the other side for Stalwart Esports, getting access into the backline, and hopefully they will be able to end the fight before Musashi kills off their counterpart in the farm lane as well. We're gonna see our first Dharma for today. Dharma has good lockdown skills. If he pins you against the wall, most of the time he's able to deal a massive amount of damage. And there's a lot of burst potential coming in from Stalwart Esports in the form of Lupa number 7 and maybe Musashi as well, complemented by the Dharma. Now they're gonna try and put an insurance policy where if the damage, the fight actually goes on very long, that's where Zhou Yu, right, our mid laner, is going to provide a lot of value for the side of Stalwart Esports. He is his damage over time is pretty insane, and with his ultimate, if they manage to stand onto the flames itself, they will get stunned out. So this is something that they need to be very careful of. Now A7 Selena, Gonna pick up the Gun and More. Gun and More, one of my personal favorites in the mid, very huge burst damage, and with the composition that A7 has provided for themselves, that is a very useful and complementary synergistic draft they have made, because they have the front lines, Beningas as well as Master, who will be able to put up a shield in the front, while Aomin as well as Suits will be having heavy artillery onto the back lines of Stalwart Esports. But Stalwart Esports, if they play their cards right, Musashi will be able to do a lot of damage onto them. And at this point, let's see, right, as we go into the Gorge, how this is going to pan out for the rest of the team. So both coaches, as we all know, they're going to be having that handshake, and we'll see who else is going to make their way one step closer towards the grand finals here. Now, I have not watched the entire grand finals yet, just simply because I don't have the time. But as it stands now, we can see, the benefits of both of their drafts, right? Stalwart Esports, if they get that early game lead, it's going to be humongous, because on the side of A7, it takes a bit of time before Gun and Moore, as well as the Huang Zhong, will be able to get up their farm. So it really depends on the jungler, who's going to be playing on the Atta, and also on the Clash lane for the Byron, to make sure that they have a good start to the game. So pretty much you can expect, early invasions coming out from A7, if they can kind of slow down and maybe put a cap onto the draft of Stalwart Esports. It's going to help them tremendously in towards the mid game, and hopefully they can close the game quickly before Stalwart Esports actually get that evolution they're looking for in the form of in the form of Lupan number 7. Right, so let's see where we're headed to right now. We're going into the Gorge right now. Now, this is a slightly different style of play, right? We normally have the supports going in to help the mid lane and, focus on that first rotation around the map. So Sus and Selena, they have a pretty good wave clear as well. So should be able to wave clear much faster than the counterparts on the side of Stalwart Esports. You can see here a couple of blades already being laid down from Suits, and instantly, in less than 30 seconds, they will get rid of that first wave, which means this first rotation by Suits will be very, very quick. Right, and here we go. Master is trying to make life hard for Mihoj. Yep, so first steal. Suits, this is going to make a lot of difference in the long run, because as you put a leash and a cap onto Stalwart Esports, not only are you increasing your farm as well as your experience, you will be able to put that lid on them. And like I said, early game is pretty important for Stalwart Esports. If they can kind of out farm and get that tipping point, the advantage over A7 is going to prove to be a very painful growth session for the start of Stalwart Esports. So far, Aomin trailing in terms of levels, but simply because Lupa number 7 has very good wave clear in the early levels already. Right, and Aomin not going to take too much risk at this point. Minhoj already falling low, and we might have the first blood coming under this first tier turret here. And here we go. That is going to be the stun and lockdown. Can he get the block? He's going to get the bolt off, and that is going to be first blood going to the side of A7, and this is going to help them tremendously in the mid game as well. You can start to see the farm is already starting to have a differential between the two teams. Nothing too big at this point, but mid lane, if this play goes through, Ray, he's in a bit of trouble as well. He's not going to make it, and Ray gives up the second death in the game, and this is going to be A7 taking a pretty decent lead in the first 2 minutes of the game. Right, Saving Grace it looks like Wawa is doing pretty well in the farm lane as well. If you take a look at the itemization so far, no major core items yet, with the exception that Beningas actually goes for the tankier side of the jungle items, and that's going to provide a huge value for his end. Right, Musashi going to go, of course, for damage. Now, like I said, this is a shield and a spear composition from A7. So if Stalwart Esports is unable to break this shield, they will get decimated by the start of A7, because the damage burst coming out from A7's lineup, especially for Suits, is pretty hard to ignore. Right, Beningas using his second skill to pull the creeps to one side, makes it easier for them to clear. Look at the damage that Beningas is actually taking from that duo in the mid for the jungler, as well as the mid lane from Xenon itself. That is a telltale sign that things are not really going well for the side of Stalwart Esports, and this is where A7 really tried to push up and up the pressure as well. Beninga's going to get that smite down. He might have to give his life away from this. He does give his life away, but Xenon maybe getting punished as well. Wawa trying his best to put in a lot of damage, and it's working out so far. They do get a trade-off here. It's going to be 2 kills for the side of Stalwart Esports. A very good recovery. So they cut the losses. It's just about 600 gold as Aomin putting Wawa, pushing him behind a little bit. And this wave clear going to be a little bit cleaner from the side of A7. Now we're going to have our first major neutral objectives coming out, which is going to be the Tyrant as well as the Overlord. Let's see what the game plan is for the side of A7. They have a healthy lead at this point. Itemization, Stone of Sorcery already being put down for the side of Suits. So he's going to try and go for that first item, which is going to be the Spear of Scepter of Reverberation. And that is going to be a huge amount of damage. So very good evolution for Suits. Let's see if he's going to get it. Reforged Blade doesn't really hit the mark at this point, but it's fine. They have about a 1,000 gold lead so far. So far, the Huangzhong already has a little bit of physical pierce on his hands, and looks like the Tyrant is going to be the first neutral objective of choice for the side of A7. And this is going to be decent for them. This is going to provide them with a team buff that allows them to shoot a chain of lightning with a chance, of course, with every basic attack or basic skills that they use on their lineup. So far, Arthur already having half of his health as well as a burn from the Molten Core here. You'll see, oh, Xenon, that was close. A couple blades doing so much damage here, and it looks like Mihoch may be a little bit too far off from comfort. You can see the itemization from Byron. He's a pretty tanky boy here with 60 physical defense on his inventory already. Beninga's looking for the connect here. There's going to be 3-on-1. Can he get the lockdown? He is going to get out safely so far. Oh, but Mihoch, he's not having a good time. Aomin on the other side, that's just the counter play, and they will get it instead. Wawa this time going to get the kill, and that's a huge win for themselves. Stalwart Esports now tie up the kill score, and they do recover a bit of farm, but it's still slightly less than 1k. In the meantime, it's still a big win for A7. They have successfully managed to push their way all the way into the tier 2s as well. Lifesteal coming down onto the Huangzhong as his next craft item, and already Spear of Reverberation onto the hands of Suits. So you're gonna see them provide that shield and the spear. That formula is gonna start working, showing its effects very effectively in the next couple of minutes already. Right, so the Overlord unable to be taken by the side of Stalwart Esports, and that's going to be a huge problem, because if A7 gets all of these neutral objectives, it's going to spell a horrible game as we head into the transition into the mid game so far. Right, so that's 4-1. 4 people in the mid lane pushing down onto Stalwart Esports. Stalwart Esports going to try and use Wawa to get rid of that tier 1 tower. They need a little bit more map control. Now, Axe of Torment already completed by Master at the 6.5 minute mark. So he is not only going to be a tanky and beefy boy, he's going to be able to offer quite a bit of damage as well with the physical pierce. Here we go, catch onto Xenon, ultimate drop by Aomin, not going to hit the mark so far, but here we go, Imperified, but it's not going to work out. Xenon might be low, he is going to be taken out, and there is no trade coming out from Stalwart Esports here, which means it's going to be all 5 members onto A7 looking for that opening. Here comes that spear, can they get the kill on Ray? No, ultimate committed by Clue. They do get a return onto Suits, that's a huge amount of damage gone, but here comes Master as well. He's going to chase in, and that is the end of it. It's going to be a team wipe here. Master gets all of the kills here, leaving just Ray all alone on the backlines, and this is a big win for A7. They've taken all of the tier 1s across the map with the tier 2 on the top lane as well. A7 looking so strong at the 7-minute mark. Now, it looks like the Byron here, who is being played by Master, will be going for the Master Sword as the next item. So every time he uses a skill, he will get an increase of damage as well. Oh no, he's actually going to go for the defensive form of it. And that's going to be Frost Embrace, if I'm not wrong. That's going to provide a slow after every single skill that he's used. Of course, there is a certain cooldown for it. Suits gets spotted out with the rocket as well, but not going to matter too much if you take a look at the damage, right? Wawa is definitely lacking in terms of damage, just has the Blade of Eternity, and that might not be enough at this point, because as it stands now, that's about a 2,000 gold lead going to the side of A7. So A7 already has pretty much some of the main core items that they're supposed to go for on their lineup. And you can see this is going to be a big difference here in the team fights. So Stalwart Esports, they're going to be very careful about the fights that they take. And here we go. This is an alarming farm rate coming out from Suits here. He's going to be able to burst them down with both the couple blades as well as the Reforge. And here we go, Mihoj being chased down again by Master. All 5 members, A7, are looking for that opening again. Tier 2 on the bot going to be taken apart. Structural damage is imminent for this side of Stalwart Esports. Can they hold off? That's the big question here. Looks like A7 very comfortable with taking the Tyrant as the main neutral objectives. Now, they're going to try on the side of Stalwart Esports to sneak this Overlord. Looks like that's going to be a case of success coming in from Stalwart Esports, as the entirety of A7 going to be looking at the red buff instead. So Crimson Golem going to be taken away. Actually stolen? Yep, stolen by Clue. So secured by the team, but it goes into the roam. Not exactly the best situation you want at this point, but you take what you can get, right? Stalwart Esports, 6-7. The kill score is pretty close. But in terms of the teamfight potential, you can see they're very far ahead on the side of A7. Now, Ray has been, pretty much muted this entire game, 1, 2, and 4, and I don't see how he's going to be able to come back here. They need a little bit more PS. Looking for the Doomsday actually coming out from this side of Wawa, but he's still quite far from it. In fact, he's not even going for it. They need a little bit more percentage damage and for health as well. Master going to walk into 3, but he's not going to be too phased by that. At this point, it is all about the timing and wave management for the side of A7. Now, they do have a little bit of a silver lining, right? So they do have the Vanguards coming out from the Overlord because of Ray's efforts for that counterplay. But this time, A7, once again, going for the Tyrant. This tells you they want to continually fight, right? The buff from the Tyrant actually makes more sense if you are continually fighting, because you do get the random chains of lightning as well. So you have the lead when Selena as the Dolia is looking for more and more kills at this point. Oh, that's going to be a flash committed by Xenon. That's going to be dangerous here. There's going to be ultimate drop by Clue as well, but that's going to be a defensive one. And this is the situation A7 are looking for. We are waiting for that point of entry. And at this point, it doesn't even matter if they cannot find the entry point, because they can keep poking them from afar. Suits here showing off, as well as Eomin dropping down the ultimate. Wawa is dropped to such a low health at this point. And take a look at the damage coming out from Eomin. He's already reaching that final evolution of itemization, as well as that skill cap level. Level 13 at this point. There's a 1 level advantage across the board. And here we go. Clue maybe getting caught. He's going to escape with a sliver of health, but that is not all. The pressure is still up from the side of A7. Right, finally, the Overlord is going to make its way down into the mid lane, but at this point, it's just a damage limitation coming out from Stalwart Esports, and you can see it doesn't even cross the river. A7 having such a commanding lead. 3,000 gold is not that huge of a deficit, but at this point, A7 playing like they have 30,000 gold ahead. Now, Blade of Eternity already picked up by the Huang Zhong. His critical damage is going to be extremely pain. So at this point, A7, it's really just putting them in a chokehold and continuing to hold that choke point so that Stalwart Esports cannot recover in terms of farm. Now, this could be an opening that A7 looking for. They are looking for Miho here on the backlines as well. He's going to try it on his own. Ray does get the kill on Suits. That's a huge amount of damage down as well. That's a huge kill, but Eomin, nobody's able to touch him. And on the front lines, Master getting another kill for himself, getting kills on Wawa and now Xenon as well. No more damage coming out from the side of Stalwart Esports, and that's going to be a huge problem. The flash burnt off by Mihoj as well. Level 13 and up against Clue on the other side. So 1 roam and 1 clash lane. Clue doesn't have the best wave clear as well. He can push them a little bit out, but that's the maximum he can do at this point. Mihoj offers just a little bit of damage, buying some time for the team. There's 13 seconds before Xenon is out. I think they will be able to hold this by Eomin. He is looking to change that. He says, no, we will take this tier 3 for free. There's going to be a 1 lane of Mega Minions coming down for the side of A7 through the mid. And you can see Eomin very comfortable at this point. He's going to be able to hold his own. Adding on to that, he does have the Blood Weeper as well. So he does have lifesteal. He does have crit coming out from the Blade of Eternity. And that's going to be huge. So right now, A7, they have so many options to explore. They have Aomin, who has plenty of damage. They have Suits on the backlines to be able to chunk them down as well. And Master and Beningas, you can't, ignore them because they're going to be in your face as well. Long Night Guardian on Beningas, that is probably the final coffin in the nail for the side of Stalwart Esports. There's no sugarcoating at this point. He's just going to be able to jump in over and over again. You can see Beningas as well as Master looking for the entry point and waiting for Beningas to drop that ultimate. Reforged Blades doing so much pain from the side of Suits, looking like they want to peel off whatever layers of defense Stalwart Esports have at this point. Now they have all of their skills at this point. So Wawa Xenon as well as Mihoj, they have that flash available. But is it going to be used defensively? That's the whole problem here. Beningas gets the smite down. They do take that overlord. This could be the final play here. Master going to be jumping in on the backlines, changing down Ray. Can they get it? Ray is going to change his target. He's going to try and get the kill onto Suits. Gets it done perfectly, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade here. Ray is taken down. They still have a little bit of firepower from the side of Wawa, but he's down to half his health. He needs to reset, go back and take the heals as well. It has now swung into a 6,000 gold lead with the Vanguards marching down and the Overlord taking its stroll and its flight on that top lane as well. Master flashes in, tries to get the 2. Wawa is dead as well. This could be the end for the side of Stalwart Esports, and A7 don't even need the Overlord to step into the base, and this is going to be end of game 1. Huge win for the side of A7 as they take the first win of the series. You can see the coach praying there. And I mean, Alpha 7 Esports, what a game from them. Very clear execution on the win conditions for their draft itself, taking the strategy of shield and spear to the maximum there. So we'll take a look at our itemization as we go into the final looks of the game itself, and I want to see what kind of itemization they actually took on the side. Like, we take a look at the farm lane, right? We already have the Shadow Reaper going on to both of the marksman itself, but of course for Aomin it's going to be much more effective because he does have the Blade of Eternity. He does have the lifesteal, which is the Blood Weeper as well. So he is not only tanky, he's able to get the attack speed down with the Dreamforged Tempest, and with the additional pierce that he keeps offering to the team when no one is able to touch him, that's going to be a huge amount of damage he's laying down. And if you take a look at the fight, Ray actually has to make a conscious decision on where and who he wants to chase out, right? And at this point, the bigger burst comes from Suits, and Suits is definitely easier to kill across the lineup from the side of Alpha 7 Esports, right? So he chooses to go for Suits. But who on the side of Stalwart Esports is supposed to go for Aomin, right? Ideally, it would have been Mihoj, but Mihoj is really busy on the backlines together with Clue, trying to protect Xenon as well as Wawa, and that was the whole downfall for the side of Stalwart Esports because they couldn't have enough damage to burst down the frontliners, which is the shield coming out from Master and from Beningas as well. So the damage taken from the side of from A7, look at that, 30% coming in from Beningas. He was not only tanky, he had the ability to recover some of his health as well because of the Long Night Guardian. So the recovery for him really changed the whole fight for the side of Alpha 7 Esports. And you can see much better execution of the draft so far. I really like the ideation behind the coach's draft for the side of Alpha 7. And that is going to be the first game of this best of 3 series. 2 Tyrants, 1 Shadow Tyrant, and 1 Shadow Overlord going to the side of Alpha 7. And you can see how the thought process for the team was very clean. So taking the Tyrants itself allows you to continually fight with the Chain Lightning. You also get to clear the creeps at a faster pace, which means you get better map control because at this point, you will then be able to rotate into the jungles on the side of Stalwart Esports. Now, for all the plays that they have, we're going to have our MVP here, Alpha 7 Master, going in with the Byron. Not only did he offer the tank, not only did he offer the shield, he offered the spear as well, but in this case, the X. Right, that battle ram that's going to break the front line, split the fight itself. And when it's a split fight, you know it's going to work out well for A7 because there's so many options in the form of Suits as well. So this first dive, Master actually tanked up that first tier turret for the side of Beningas, allowing him to get this first blood. And this is a huge play because Beningas, as the jungler, able to get that first level advantage, able to stop and smash, put a leash onto Ray. and that kind of cascaded down into additional farm for the rest of the team as well. So you can see Masa with that first flash into the fight, split the fight very well, allows Suits to come in with the Reforged Blades as well. Now, this was a good decision by Ray to jump onto the backlines, but Master was so prominent and efficient in getting, pushing Ray away from the fight, allowing them to really get off all of the different combinations as well. So Master really deserving of the MVP in this first game of this series. Now, I'm just going to let this run for a bit. I'm going to take a little break, drink some water at the same time. And I'm going to mute for a little bit. You can listen to the actual casters in the game. So that's going to be Blam WR. Forgot the name of the other caster. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I've been playing and talking to Blam this couple past weeks as well. So really excited to be able to cast with him as well for maybe the next Honor of Kings Invitational, or as we hit into season 2. There's plenty of community events and a big one, the Esports World Cup. That's something that I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, I'm just gonna let them take the stage at this point, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
As we saw from that replay, dives in for Wawa, doesn't quite get him. He goes back around, reignites, goes into the turret, takes the turret, and then starts abusing Wawa once again. And because that turret's gone, there's nothing that the Wawa could have done into that Byron aggressive play.
Hey, at least that Dharma wasn't a done. Then we would have been even worse. So obviously, Stalwart Esports have some things to fix, especially on the Clash lane, which has been, you know, their little Achilles heel at the moment, their little crutch that has been stopping them from reaching the heights that we think that they have the potential to reach. So
yes,
it's time to buckle down here from the side of Stalwart Esports and find a good situation, find a situation that they can lead the team into to allow them to unlock the full potential of that Clash lane.
Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't a smooth breeze there for Alpha 7. There was a bit of a struggle, a bit of a great effort of fight there on the side of Stalwart Esports. But again, this is what we always see when we see teams come against Alpha 7, is that they learn mid-game. They learn what the hardship is, or where those strengths are, or where they lie on the side of their enemies, and then they go into the 10th minute. They figure it out, and into the 10th minute they play accordingly to those strengths that then become weaknesses because they know how to counter them. Just like the Byron with the Wawa, we saw Wawa dominate the Atta pick very early on with that true damage. But then it was basically Muster's main priority, other than the macro, was to go for that Luban pick and take him out. And then Atta knew he was happy, he was safe. And then all they needed to do was create a fissure within the team, get Hon Jong to get those double ults from the Dolia, and it was pretty much closing the doors on the side of Alpha 7, slamming it into Stalwart Esports' face.
Yeah, all of this, of course, comes with experience, and we do know Alpha 7 has chuck tons of experience, and they will need it every single game, as we will hit to a short break before we come back to game 2. Again, Stalwart Esports went towards the 22nd minute mark, and I hope to see it repeat in this group stage, in this knockout stage as well, because Stalwart Esports is definitely one of those teams that a 0-3 scoreline would not befit what they are really made of.
Absolutely, but it also then shows that Alpha 7 were pulling their punches, but now they are just unvetted, just unpunishing punches on the side of Alpha 7, if that is the case.
Okay, we're gonna take a look at game 2 now, and this is going to be the... I'm gonna mute them. So at this point, we have the Fang being blended out by Stalwart Esports, as well as Frost. A very good control from Frost as well. And for Fang, I mean, it's a personal favorite of mine. A lot of iframes with the second skill as well. And when she gets the damage down, she is a beast. Now, Alpha 7 gonna ban out the Mai. Same thing. There's a lot of huge burst potential from Mai, and she's a very mobile hero, so it's very hard to deal with in the early game, especially in the late game when she gets the full burst as well. Now, the second ban is going to be on the Lupa number 7, so they don't want such a good early game start for the side of Stalwart Esports. let's take a look at what Alpha 7 has in mind for their draft. They're actually going to take Stormy, and Beningus going to take up the Mirror Blade. So Jing going to be one of the junglers, the main jungler, in fact, for the side of Alpha 7. And Suit's going to go on to pick up for his teammate Aomin here, the Arlie. Arlie, of course, a hero that I find extremely difficult to play because you have to make very quick split decisions to make full use of her kit. So she's going to offer a lot of damage, but she is extremely mobile. It's one of the best marksmen in the farm lane as well. Now, let's flip over to the side of Stalwart Esports. What do you have on the line? Xenon going to pick up the Prince of Lan Ling for the side of Stalwart Esports, and this is going to be complemented by the Gun and War along with Zhang Fei. So we've already seen the shield and spear composition coming out from Alpha 7. Looks like Stalwart Esports want to try that similar style of play. Not exactly going to be a shield and spear at this point. Spear still comes in the form of the mid lane, right? For Xenon, he's going to be picking up this Gun and War, and for Ray itself, he obviously has first picked his roam for Clue. Now, final bans, we're going to see 2 marksmen being banned out from the side of Alpha 7. So they have really put a lot of emphasis onto Wawa. Wawa in this particular competition, of course, has been one of the mainstay stars so far. And bear in mind, this is the semi-finals. Winner of this series will go towards the grand finals of the Season 1 Invitationals. Now, flip side, Stalwart Esports going to be banning out the Ata as well as the Lian Po. So similar what you've seen in game 1, they have offer a lot of early game access. If they get that first lead, it's pretty hard to stop an Ata as well. And during fights, he does have the ghost ship to either split the fight or to lock people in place. And that's going to be a very dangerous situation to be placed in for the side of Stalwart Esports. So they want to get that out of the way. Now we will have the first few picks on the second half. Wawa actually going to go with the Alicio. So Alicio with the smoke is able to kind of hide from the vision of his opponents, and this is going to provide him with a little bit of cover. So slightly different. It isn't really a shield per se. This is more of like a smoke screen, and hopefully they get the repositionings that they're looking for. Now Alpha 7 going for a very sneaky lineup here. Aomin helping to pick up that Dong Huang Tai Yi, one of the most hated roamers and supports in the game, simply because of the sustain that he offers in the game itself. And Selena gonna pick up the Byron for his Clash Elena here. We've already seen how Byron, with the tankiness and the damage as well, once he gets that Axe of Torment, he is gonna be able to really put a lot of pain towards the side of Stalwart Esports. Final pick gonna be coming out from Clue for his teammate Miho there. He is going to be picking up the Charlotte. So Charlotte was actually banned out in game 1. Now we get to see a glimpse of what Charlotte can be used for. A lot of iframes. So in terms of the 1v1 matchup, he should be able to last against Master a little bit better this time, right? The question is, will the rotations make sense for the side of Stalwart Esports this time? Alpha 7, of course, as we have witnessed in game 1, they understand that their draft itself required them to have a good start against Stalwart Esports so that they can actually overpower them in the mid game and finally closed off the game at the late game timings. Now let's see, Alpha 7 going up against Stalwart Esports. This is make or break game point for the side of the Brazilians from Alpha 7 Esports as they look to step into the grand finals. Welcome into the Gorge. This could be the end of a dream for Stalwart Esports. Now, if you take a look at the roamers here, interestingly, they're gonna put the Stormy in mid. Now, you might be surprised, but Stormy actually has a decent wave clear in the mid lane as well. I have seen mid lanes play extremely aggressively as the Stormy, or as we all know it, Da Qiao, right? Simply because she has the Sea of Fate. Now, Sea of Fate is a very useful skill because it allows you to teleport back into the base. Granted, there is a countdown for it, so you can kind of pre-plan your teleportation. And this is kind of a hit and run strategy coming out from A7. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to be like for the side of Alpha 7. This compositions that include Da Qiao will be very effective if it's played with efficiency as well. Now, wave clear not going to be as fast as compared to what they have on the side of Stalwart Esports. But here we see Aomin going up against Wawa. Really, this is a test of skill here. Aomin actually looking to get the creep on the side lanes first to increase the level advantage. So he's going to be slightly ahead here. And the first steal of the game comes out from Master, taking away the first jungle creep from the side of Stalwart Esports. Looking similar to game 1. Invasions happening, and you know, the worst part is that it's actually Master getting it. So Beningas is not putting himself at risk walking into the jungle of Stalwart Esports. So it might be something that cost them in the mid game itself. But this all could change if Xenon gets the first big play here. Oh, that was a nice block there from Aomin, getting rid of the couple blades. And this is going to be a pushback. Decoy Tides coming in from Suits here to help deter the rest of Stalwart Esports on the farm lane to, you know, make any more moves at this point. So pretty even in farm, 1k in gold apiece for both of the farm lanes as well. Tide gonna be let down as well. Beningas drops the mirror image, but not gonna work out too much at this point. Really just to clear the lane and provide a little bit of pressure against the likes of Stalwart Esports. Aomin here poking away, and this is a difficulty playing against an early, right? But Suits gets into a little bit of a pickle against Raid. Nothing too much at this point. We'll see the portal being dropped down. It is going to be Suits, you know, getting up back his health and, you know, proceeding down to the mid lane to try and clear the wave as fast as possible. So far, like I said, Mioch is doing a little bit better compared to what he experienced in the first game against Master. But Master is a Byron. It's something extremely hard to deal against in a 1v1 situation. Xenon not going to hit any of the couple blades so far. And they do get a little bit of the jungle farm back into their hands, but the level advantage starting to show already. The big discrepancy, we're about 700 gold away between the teams. Alpha 7 once again taking the lead. No big plays by Stalwart Esports yet, but we will see if this works out. Tai gonna be looking for their opening. Selena actually looking for that ultimate here. Suits trying to bait in, but Ray is around the corner. Does anyone spot him here? Can he get the kill? Tries to go on the Suits. Not gonna work out here. Drops him to half his health, but here comes the summon as well. The ultimate's gonna be laid down. Beningas actually sidesteps a little bit of the couple blades, looking to put additional pressure onto this Sapphire Golem here. It will get the steal. Beningas drops the ultimate just a little bit. Nice timing there. Actually using the portal to get back to the base, recover his health as well. Selena, nothing too worrying at this point. So you can start to see the draft working and making sense for the side of Alpha 7, right? They are unable to get the kill onto Alpha 7, and this is going to be the hit and run strategy. Selena, maybe the first blood of the game, going to be forced to use the flash, and the nice block once again by Aomin. This early just playing and waiting for the perfect opportunity to use the umbrella to kind of you know, mitigate all of the attacks coming in from Stalwart Esports. This is the reason why they allowed and they are very comfortable with Xenon playing this gun and more in the first place. Very good understanding of the draft so far, and it looks like Alpha 7 a prime position so far to take the lead in the mid game. Now, let's see. First neutral objectives of the game spawning at the 4-minute mark. We do have the Tyrant and the Overlord. Looks like the Tyrant will be put into the charge in the hands of the sides, in the side lanes itself for the side of Alpha 7. And Mihoch, once again, he's still able to hold up Byron in the clash lane. So that's good news for the side of Stalwart Esports. But Stalwart Esports need to find something. They need to find an opening. No kills in 4.5 minutes. It might change here. This is going to be the first attempt of the 4-minute mark. Can he get the kill? Ray once again does not get it done, but it is going to be done by Wawa. This is the hero they were looking for. Ray looking for an opportunity, will be giving up his life at this point. No opening, no entry point. But Wawa, you know, with that kill itself, didn't manage to put them too far ahead, but it is a decent EXP lead for himself. Level 7, complemented by Aomin. Once again, blocked from the umbrella. And Stalwart Esports doing well for themselves. A much better performance than the first game itself. But they're still lacking in a bit of that advantage they're looking for. Aomin jumping in one-on-one against Wawa. Just a poke. And Aomin here going to use the portal probably to go back as well. Now, Portal, of course, can only teleport 2 people max at one go, so it has to be a very conscious and calculated decision. And this is why suits any team that plays Stormy or Daqiao has to have good synergy. And we all know Alpha 7 doing a very good job showing how much synergy they have in a team as well. Itemization wise, nothing too big, kind of more already getting the Scepter Reverberation, and that's going to be a huge upgrade in terms of damage. There's a power spike for sure, but Master now, that first rotation, going to be doing a lot of structural damage. They do take that tier 1 on to the farm lane, and we will see the rotations happening. Master should be heading back into the clash lane to successfully stop Mihoj here. Mihoj, even though he does get one extra wave, he will not have the level advantage yet against Master. Now, Exo Torment onto Mihoj, so he's going to be a little bit tankier. He will be able to get a little bit of armor pierce down onto the members on Alpha 7 as well. But right now, Master's farm has been pretty clean. He has not died any the once yet, so he is still on track. In fact, he has gotten a kill, and that could pose a big problem because once again, it's the same thing from the side of Alpha 7, right? Can they break the front lines? And here goes Xenon. Oh no, that's gonna be it. Selena actually kill secure. That's the term that we use here. Kill secure for the team, and it's not looking good for the Stalwart Esports. The ultimate drop down by Selena, not gonna be too effective because it is up against Clue, who is a beefy boy as well. Master jumping in, MVP of game 1, looking to change the state of the game. They will get this mid T1 as well, and it's just Alpha 7 all the way. 2,000 gold ahead. They are taking full control of the map. There is no turrets that are down on the side of Alpha 7. And if you take a look at the itemization, Byron actually going to that full tanky build here. He does have a very, very huge life. Aomin suffering against Ray, but he does get the kill. Oh my god, Aomin survives, gets the portal home as well. And that's a huge loss for the side of Stalwart Esports. That is not looking good as well. Like, you know, if you take a look at itemization, Meteors has already been upgraded. Exo Torment finally in the hands of Master. MVP of game 1, looking to keep up that performance in game 2 as well. The second tier turret of the farm lane has been successfully knocked down. And Alpha 7, if you take a look, it's full map control here, going up close to 4,000 gold as Aomin one-on-one onto Wawa. Can he get the last shot? Not going to be able to. He has to go back here. Master Beningas as well, jumping in. Here comes the ultimate drop by the Jing, and that's going to be Mihoj dropped on the backline, and Aomin goes hunting, gets the kill onto Ray as well, and this is disaster for the side of Stalwart Esports. Tournament life on the line, and Alpha 7 has showed up. 8.5 minutes in. It's not a very high kill game, 6-1. But the 5,000 gold lead is simply unignorable now. Master working on that tier 2, and Wawa is just tickling him at this point. This is a guaranteed tier 2 as we speak of it, and that's going to be a tier 2 on the clash lane taken down as well. Suits, very ballsy move, dropping down the portal. Going to be using the flash defensively as well to get out, and accompanying Aomin now. Aomin going for a little bit of defensive measures this time. He's actually getting the Cuirass of Savagery, and he's going to have a lot of damage. Selena gets the flash in, gets the perfect target actually. He's going to go on Wawa with the catch as well. He gets the kill, and the rest of the team on the side of Stalwart Esports breaks out in confusion as Ray going to look for a surprise kill. But who can he find at this point? It is just Alpha 7 taking dominance all across the map as well. Now, jungle is for the taking on the side of Alpha 7 here. I don't think they will be able to commit anything at this point. Selena is too far ahead, too tanky, and at this point, he does not have his ultimate yet, but it is a threat available. Ray will not be able to find an opening at this point. It really is a choice of fight. Can they get the perfect entry they're looking for? Master actually uses the force field suppression, gets the extra armor as well. And the Koi Tide going to be dropped down. They do have an idea, an inkling of where Ray is at, but at this point of game, Stalwart Esports is just looking for information, right? Let's take a look at the item growth coming out from the side of Stalwart Esports. We do have a little bit of growth onto Xenon here. He does have the Savant's Wrath, so there's going to be the increase of magical damage along with the Scepter of Reverberation. But is it enough? Because everyone else pretty slow behind, right? Mihoj here going for a little bit more defensive capabilities with the Frost Scars and Brace. But at this point, he's still too far behind because, if you take a look at Master's itemization, he is already halfway in towards his third or fourth core item. Master, he is going up against Free, but he's having no issues at all. 4 people, in fact, and Master deters them from coming in because on the backlines, Miho has been chased down and the tier 3 on the board is going to be threatened, and it looks like this is A7 looking for the entry point. They do get an Aomin once again, chasing Miho. This is not a style you see every day, and it is going to be a kill. Miho gets taken down, and this is going to be the end of the dreams. But the side of Stalwart Esports is a clean 2-0 for the Brazilians on the side of Alpha 7. A huge victory and a masterclass in the making. As they step and secure the seats in the grand finals as well. Let's take a look at itemization as the the analytics and the stats come up. I mean, this has been a clean game, very methodical approach, very clean execution as well. Alpha 7, they don't even look phased. It looks like a training program on a day-to-day basis as the Brazilians will make their mark in the world stage for Season 1 Invitationals. Now, tough luck for the side of Stalwart Esports. They did try their best. It was a decent draft itself, but they just could not out-macro the game that Alpha 7 had prepared for themselves. Definitely did their best in trying to avert the disaster that was building across from the first minute of the game. Now let's take a look at the analytics itself. Beningas didn't show too much in this game, but 303, the silent assassin, making life so difficult for the side of Stalwart Esports, right? And Suits, this is one of the best games I've seen professionally on the side of Da Qiao, right? The moment you have a Da Qiao, there is a high win probability as well because it really operates on your synergy. And for a team as synergized as Alpha 7, our Brazilian Kings here, doing so well for themselves, and Aomin, my MVP of the game, let's see if I'm correct here. A lot of damage being dealt, 78,000 damage dealt, 44.5% of the team's damage. This time, Master, I have to take your heads out for you. They were so threatened with his MVP performance. They actually put a lot of focus on trying to get him down. But that opened up the doors. Once again, it's about the choice, right? Who do you go for? Do you want to try and get rid of Selena first so that you have easy access? Do you want to break down the front lines in the form of Master as well so that you can have the backline access into Aomin? That decision was not an easy one to make, and it was actually not possible at this point because Alpha 7, with the lead itself, they only took the one Shadow Tyrant in this entire game. Neutral objectives, not even a game plan here. But Alpha 7, like I said, Aomin doing his best work out here in the semifinals. Second game, a clean one for them. No threats at all for the side of Alpha 7, simply because Aomin got the farm in 206, no deaths, got the umbrellas of his life, mitigated all of the damage coming in, especially from Xenon. Even with the reforged blades, the couple blades, nothing got past the umbrella that Aomin was holding. It rains, it pours, but not for the side of Alpha 7. Look at this. There's 1v1, well, you wouldn't call it a 1v1, but the outplay itself on Aomin against Ray really changed the whole game itself. And you can see one-on-one Aomin against Wawa, that's not what you want to see. And Aomin actually circled towards the back to get another kill. If I'm not wrong, there we go. He was chasing, actually got the kill on the Clue, not onto Ray there. And that is a scary situation when your farm lane is able to jump into the backlines alone. That's the strength of the Ali, right? Able to get in and get out of sticky situations as and when you please. And that's complemented by Suits with the portal as well. If it gets a bit too dicey, you gotta go home, reset, and then get your health back up to scratch and join the fights again. And what a clean game from Aomin. So that's about it, boys and girls. This has been the semi-final match on the side of Honor of Kings Invitational Season 1 between Stalwart Esports as well as Alpha 7. The Brazilian Kings are making quick work of their counterparts, Stalwart Esports here. So this is going to be it from me. I will be ending the stream at this point. The point of today's stream actually was just to record my showreel, right? So that I'm able to see if I'm able to audition for the side of Tencent, and maybe I can take part in the World Cup for Honor of Kings as well, and even for Season 2 of the Honor of Kings competition, right? So that has been it. This is your favorite kind of tofu, Kindofu, and if you're looking for more, let me know. I'm happy to do casts for other community games as well. Season is starting and there is a huge community tournament. I'm not sure whether it's a community one or a professional one, but there's an open invitationals that is being placed down by Honor of Kings at this point. And it is a prize pool of $23,000, guys. 23,000 just by playing a game. Okay, I'm oversimplifying it, but you get the point. Yeah, so that has been it for me. I can kind of change into a just chatting kind of thing. Yeah, so let's just do that. Maybe I'll talk for a bit for the next few minutes. Change it to studio mode. Let's see. Okay, time to finally answer your question. Hey, welcome, Scott Surfer. Yep, Kenny. So I'm casting as a recording for Showreel. I was actually meant to record this cast earlier last week, but I've been like bogged down by work. So today is one of the days that I'm free at night to cast, and like yeah, I'm sweating like crazy at this point. How about you, man? How's life? To be honest, I didn't expect any viewers today. It was just meant to be a simple one, quiet one. I wanted to do a recording, but I think it would have been easier for me to just put up some hours onto Twitch as well, and at the same time put this content out onto YouTube. So I'm doing a restream. So one of the streams is actually to Twitch, and then the other one's to YouTube. Yeah. So at this point, very excited for a couple of things. Number one, of course, MPL Singapore Season 7 is going to be starting soon. That's going to be happening on the first weekend of May. So starting from 4th May, we will be having matches all the way until the 25th of May, which is the last day of regular season. And then we will see, right, the top 6 of MPL SG Season 7 walk into the playoffs of Season 7. We kind of have an idea of where the location of the playoffs will be this time. Not allowed to say what and where. We will let Zenway do that announcement for you guys. And of course, after that, I think in terms of casting, yeah, I would really like to be able to cast for Honor of Kings. I think, Kenny, you definitely know about this. I have been following the Honor of Kings series for a very long time. In fact, is what started my esports journey. It was the other version of Wangzhe Rongyao, right? So Kenny and I actually met through Arena of Valor. So at that point, I already had my sights set on Arena of Valor as a caster, and funnily enough, Arena of Valor was the game that got me into shoutcasting in the first place. So I actually attended a community event. For Singaporeans, you know this, at the back of Bugis Plus. We were at level 4 or level 5, I can't remember. It was on the back of a game store. Yeah, back of a game store. And it was the most low budget thing that we could do. There was a basic camera, a basic setup for a laptop, no, a desktop. Yeah, we had a PC, and then we had a mirror app. I think it was called Mirror app or something like that. And then we mirrored the footage of the gameplay onto a projector screen. And we had I don't know where they got the mic from, but the feedback was horrendous. So to the point where we had to shake the mic when we were talking. I will do a recap of my shoutcasting journey probably one of these days. I will put that footage in. So number one, I'll cringe at my old shoutcast because like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Number two, you guys will actually see the shaking. For those of you that are familiar with Chinese, is it called religion? Yeah, it's called Tiao Dang. Yeah, which is like kind of like summoning spirits or something like that. Yeah, so people were asking us we were like summoning spirits. The Singapore rendition of Exuma. Yeah. But it was a fun experience, right? So because that was done with ROG, that was done with Asus, and that was my first professional cast. I got paid for it. And then that kicked off a slew of events for me. There was a couple of firsts for me. So number one, I competed in a team, in an actual competition for mobile games. I got a first taste of what it's like for Pressure playing against an actual professional team. So at that point of time, Singapore's representative for Arena of Valor was this team called Tamago, as well as another team called RSG, which for those of you that know, RSG used to be called Resurgence last time, right? So they had the strongest players in Singapore. They went down to compete in our national qualifiers and stuff like that. So the story of the day was that I joined as a competitor, and I knew the organizers as friends, but we had never met. I met them through Arena of Valor, through an online group chat in WhatsApp, and it was like, hey bro, do you want to come down, support us at the event? You don't have to spend any money. All you have to do is to come down and play some games. And I said, sure. You know what? I have some free time. I just finished my internship with an esports company, and I wanted to explore new things to do. So I was like, yeah, maybe I can try a little bit of events management. I can do a little bit of sales. That's what I've been doing before that. So I'll come down, show some support, and see what I can offer in my esports experience. Gentle reminder, I had no esports experience at that point in time. All I did was speak to a couple of brands about events on esports, sponsorships for esports teams. That's about it, right? After that, I had played Arena Valor for quite a while. I think at that point of time, I had hit Diamond, I think. Yeah, I think Diamond. Yeah, at the point. So for those of you that don't know, Diamond is the third highest, if I'm not wrong. So it was Diamond, Master, and then Conqueror, if I'm not wrong, right? So I was Diamond, and I knew quite a bit about the game already. So that friend joked with me. He said, hey, why don't you try casting a game? You seem like you know a lot of the games. Now, before this, I've been a very avid fan of Dota, right? I've been watching Oli Pixel for a long time. Watching since TI first year, right? Those were the days, right? With Navi, with Alliance, and all of that. And I said, you know what? Sure, let me try and mimic my idols. Let me give it a shot. And I said I agreed to do a shoutcast for them. And there was a very small fee paid to me. And from there, my teammate actually worked for another esports event organizer, and he saw the shoutcast. He was like, hey, actually, I think you do have some of the goods. Why don't you try and shoutcast for us? And they brought me to an entirely different game. I did CSGO as my first actual professional live streamed live event cast. I did it at Suntech, I did it at Cytex, I did it in their studio. At that point of time, it was in Marina Square. It was a gaming arena where all of the professional teams for CSGO in Singapore were partaking in a local competition, right? And then from there, it just transitions into other games, many other games, different genres of games. And for me, I think as a shoutcaster, I have the ability to adapt to different games. It doesn't take me too long to learn about the mechanics of a game. Playing it, different story. I can understand it pretty fast. And then it's just about the pacing of, can I remember the items? Can I remember the skill names? Can I remember what kind of situation leads to what kind of plays? And of course, about the practicing of storytelling, which is to let you guys understand, hey, what's at stake here? What are the individual journeys of each individual player in the professional team? Why is it so tough? Why does this mean so much? And really just bringing you and putting you in a side-by-side comparison where you get to feel yourself being dragged through the mud of the pain and the losses and the joy of the wins with the professional players and the teams and organizations as well, right? So that was what led me to this particular moment. I have been casting for a good, I think, 6 years now. Now it's 2024. I started in 2018, right? So it's been a good 6 years. I've had casted, I think, at least 5 different genres of games. I have been doing it professionally at least for 5 years. Yeah, at least for 5 years. 6 years in totality. There was 1 year where I took a break, just community cast. yes, it's paid, so maybe you can consider professional as well. I don't view it as a full-on professional. Kin, we have something fun for you to do, nothing too serious. You don't need to be so upfront, formal. And I was like, yeah, sure, man. I understand. Yeah, I can't swear, but yeah, I'll do what I think is fun. I'll do what I think deserves that level of professionalism, even for a community event, right? Yeah, and that's where it has landed me here. Now I am a professional shoutcaster for the Mobile Legends Professional League in Singapore, and hoping to reach even greater heights with Honor of Kings. Now, that's about it from me. That's my little story time. Yeah, if you have any questions for me about esports in general, well, you're welcome to ask me. This is probably, if there's no questions, nothing else, I won't be streaming any games today. I think. I still have some work to do, and I have a call later at like maybe 10:30 or something. So even if I stream, it's gonna be a super late night stream, like probably at 11, maybe 11:30, 12. Yeah. Yep. So I guess that's that. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. I will be working on my clip. And hopefully I get that message back to say, hey Kin, are you ready for that flight? Which I totally am. I'm ready to like take my luggage, bring up, go into a stadium full of screaming fans, and put my name out there and show everyone that why I am your favorite kind of tofu. Yeah. Hello, Xiao Tu. Yeah, so today is just a recording of my showreel. I'm going to be passing it on to, I will presume, Tencent, I guess. Yeah, to hopefully audition for Honor of Kings. They are looking for English casters. I've been lucky enough to be offered a potential opening to join their roster. So I hope I can get it. And it will be a huge jump because if I'm not wrong, this is a jump straight into the MENA region, so Saudi Arabia, going to Riyadh if I get the job. Yeah. Of course, for my American friends, if you're watching, I'm not a traitor. I still love my good old MLBB, and of course, I will still be casting events for MPL and community as long as I'm allowed. Right? I know there's a little bit of friction in terms of casting for multiple games at the same time. I have heard of agreements between a game developer saying that if a caster or organization chooses a particular game, they are not allowed to do any other title, right? From the business aspect, I understand why. On the branding aspect, I understand why as well. But yeah, this is just me being greedy, and until someone tells me no, I'll just keep doing it. Yeah, get the best of not even both worlds. I've done so many games. I've done Wild Rift, I've done Valorant, I've done MLBB, I've done Honor of Kings, I've done Arena of Valor, done PUBG, done PUBG Mobile, I've done Roblox, I've done CSGO, I've done CS2 not yet. I've even done League. Yeah, what other games have I done? Very small community ones. Clash Royale maybe. Yeah, I haven't casted Clash of Clans yet, but yeah, this shows you, number one, I play a lot of games. Number two, I do have a foundational understanding of all these games. So far, I think the only game I have not touched probably is Dota. That's one. And the second one is fighting games. I love myself fighting games. Fighting games is actually my introduction to esports in general, not working, but esports in general. Even before Dota. No, actually Dota first, and then I kind of forgot Dota for a bit, and then I went into Street Fighter 4 vanilla Street Fighter 4, I think it's called Ultra, and then Street Fighter 5 I skipped. 6 I'm keeping an eye on it. I played Tekken on PSP, and then I transitioned into PS4 or PS3 at that time. So I've had a lot of different game experience. My favorite is UMVC, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. That was a game that I used to play with one of my good buddies in poly. Yeah. Yes. So the skins are pretty sick in MLBB, not gonna lie. But it's taking a bit of a toll. I'm not one to spend on games. So the only game I have actually spent money on is Arena of Valor. And yes, Arena of Valor and HOK, they are similar. Not the same game, but similar. So certain heroes have the same skill sets. For example, Superman is Guan Yu and 王者荣耀, right? Which in this case, I forgot what's the name in HOK in a moment. Superman, yeah, Superman is that. Joker in Arena of Valor with that collaboration is Consort Yu. Yeah, Consort Yu is Joker. And then we have Fennec. Fennec is the same as Fang. And then my personal favorite is Azenka. Azenka is a mid lane, similar to Lady Chen. Yeah, and then Violet, as we all know, Violet is Lady Sun. Yeah. Now I have a little beef for Honor of Kings cast. Obviously I'm Chinese, right? So there are pronunciations that we as Chinese will go for. So it's nothing against like international casters, but I think maybe game developers prefer it if you can actually have the name and state the name in the native language. So example, I think M5, right? M5 Yasu actually pronounced Kaja as like with the Kaja or something like that. And I thought that was damn sick because I presume that is the native language for the name itself. So if for me as a caster, I think I appreciate actual pronunciations of the names. Yeah. China server AOV is international. I think they are working on it right now. So-called the international version is the one that if you play Turkey, Brazil, whatever server those are combined already. Arena of Valor, I'm not sure yet. I've seen a post, but I haven't picked up AOV in the current version to see whether it's combined or not. I'm just more comfortable playing Honor of Kings right now. Yeah. Yeah, so it's actually good. I want them to combine the game because like there are certain heroes in Arena of Valor that I freaking love that are not in 王者, they are not in HOK as well. And this is me specifically asking for Xenio. My goodness, Xenio is a beast. And Xenio, his old ultimate, when he was my one trick, he's what got me to Diamond, and I think he got me to Master. He's what got me to Master because of his ultimate, because of his like his entire kit. He's just a 1v1 monster, and when he lands his ultimate on you, the whole team gets the heal, and it's like straight on. I just access the backlines. I don't even give a shit about what happens on the front lines. I don't care what the jungler is doing. I'm just going for their marksman. That's it. Every game, and it was so easy to play. Yeah. 猴子 as in 悟空, is it? I freaking hate Wukong. My goodness. Damn broken. Freaking hate his shield, dude. The moment he activates his shield, right, he's like unkillable. And then if he goes like full on lifesteal, insane. Every 5 seconds, full health. Goodness. So like you need a stun. When you play against Hozi, you need a stun, my goodness. And what was funny to me was because HOK recently, in the past few weeks, they recently released Butterfly, and everyone didn't know how to play Butterfly. You know the old school players when they don't ban Butterfly, because like, dude, Butterfly is so easy to handle. Like just freaking stun her, dude, and kill her when she's stunned. That's it. She doesn't get the reset. She doesn't get the increase of movement speed. She's damn easy to kill. Yeah. Like for me, actually one of the scarier junglers, Lam is one of them. Jing is another one of them. So Mirror Blade is one of those heroes where if you play her perfectly, my goodness, extremely hard to deal with as well. The iframes on her ultimate, my goodness. I specifically created a Smurf just to learn her skill set and the combination so that I could practice on noobs. And at this point, my Jing can only be used against noobs. I'm not a jungle main. Yeah. And then AOV had one hero called Murat, which is the equivalent of Li Bai in 王者 and HOK. Oh, Li Bai, another one. Sick boy. Sick boy. those extremely strong players, like at the Conqueror level, it is a guaranteed there's a godlike Li Bai somewhere. Yeah, every single time. My memory of AOV Murat was, I think, 5 stacks. 5 stacks. 5 stacks before he could get his ultimate. Now Li Bai gets like 4 stacks and he's able to use his ultimate already. That's damn insane, dude. Yeah. So yeah, really excited. Already kind of like manifesting, like already say, okay, I remember the times that I was at the airport, I remember the times that I was in Riyadh, remember the times that I was shoutcasting for Honor of Kings. It's a game that I've been chasing since 2018. And yeah, I would like to see it work. I truly believe it is a game that I can perform at, both in game and as a shoutcaster as well. It is also a belief that I think I can bring value towards the cast as a English speaking caster as well. Yeah. So another thing is if me and my other friends in the shoutcasting world get to do this together, it is a dream. So Holler has been offered this as well. I would like to see if Holler gets the gig too, and if we can cast together. Oh my god, that would be insane. Welcome, Spirited Away. How are you, man? Yeah, true. It is a tank meta. It's like one of my favorite. I play mid farm and roam. Yeah, so I play a pretty decent Zhonghui. Yeah, so Zhonghui has been kind of sick for me. I managed to hit 5% as the Zhonghui. Yeah, not bad. Oh, dude. Yeah, my brother just removed his wisdom tooth as well. Ooh, tough situation to be in. So, what do you eat? Pasta? Pea stuff? Macaroni? Yeah, I'm still waiting for the day that I can finally, number one, find some time. Number two, find the money to kind of get my teeth fixed as well. It's a bit of an insecurity, but when I'm actually casting, getting into the mood itself, like yeah, everything just melts away. Yeah, so anyway, Spirited Away, our regular season is going to be happening in May. So from 4th of May, Saturday, all the way until the 25th of May, which is also a Saturday. And then our playoffs is going to be June, I think 14, 15, and 16th. These are all going to be held live. So regular season is going to be at Zenway. That's going to be Ubi on the east side, I think. Ubi is like east side, right? All the way east side of Singapore. The playoff venue. Cannot give the location nor the specifics of it. So yeah. If you are coming down back to Singapore, let me know. You can PM me on Discord. Actually, Discord is not a platform that I use very frequently, so maybe I can pass you my Telegram or my WhatsApp on there. Yeah, but for everyone here, thanks for joining. I will be ending the stream now. Don't have. I mean, I don't really have a lot of viewers now at this point, but I'm just going to raid Jace, and yeah, you guys can join him first. I will see whether I'm going to join him later. Oh, hang on, why can't I raid Jace? Is this another problem again? I'm having issues. Is it because I didn't spell his name correctly? Cannot be what? Ah, okay, I don't need to put the ad. That's the whole issue here. Yeah, so thanks for joining me for my HOK Showreel recording. Take a look at what Jace is doing now for his MLBB site. See you guys.